Government wants to get rid of violence, yet every time they lose out in diplomacy, they go to war. Or every time they need some corporation or elitist to make a bunch of money, they go to war. Every time the what is it, the military, whatever they call them, the arms, the actual people that make tanks and planes and stuff. Every time they need testing on their real world testing, they go to war. And they escalate everything. So basically, what we should do is disallow government to control war. So the people should be in control of the military, not the government. They want to get rid of violence, then they need to quit using it and having it at their disposal. And if they want us, the ones that serve in the military and stuff like that, the citizenry, well, I'm not saying all the citizenry, because some of the citizenry are sheep and bitch and moan about everything and want everybody else to do the dirty work. So how does the people get control of the military? I mean, we'd have to vote to go to war, or else we could just petition, I mean, look how long it took Roosevelt to go to war in World War II and stuff like that. And they'd use the argument, well, if we needed the military to defend our country, they should already be defending our country. It shouldn't be some sort of, oh, we need a quick decision. No, that's the problem. These people that don't want violence want to make quick, violent decisions, and people usually disagree with them, and they usually end up pushing in and then pulling out. And kind of like they stab another country. They just say, oh, well, they push for it. They motivate everybody. They try to get ex-military behind it, and a lot of ex-military are like anti-war. I mean, I don't see any reason for any of the wars that we've been in that actually protected our country. I mean, 9/11 was just a revenge, which was basically the reason 9/11 happened is their revenge on the U.S. for, who knows, I don't know, oil, not paying enough for oil or whatever. They didn't like us in Vietnam, going against poor countries with no weaponry, and here we were, this superpower, and we went against like Vietnam, and they kept cheering losses. And these politicians, the problem is these politicians aren't diplomacy. They aren't diplomatic. They can't talk their way out of an airbag, and they just, at a flip of a coin, if they get into a tussle, unlike Trump, all the other politicians, if they had any inquiries toward them for conspiracy or anything like that, they jumped on a war to cover it up. And Trump did nothing. He just sat there and took the hits, which is, that's one thing I seen was right with him, is he didn't. He just said, yeah, you're smacking me around a little, but it wasn't like he was worried about anything. But he didn't just use the military, say, oh, we better put the military in on this, just to cover this up, to get the heat off me. But he did do that. He was all for red flag laws. So I think that kind of took a lot of force away from his second election. I don't know, anyway. But I think we ought to, I don't know, we have to, the only way for us to change a law or anything like that, the lawmakers can take a law, they can be arbitrary and write laws all day long. And the only way for us to get rid of them if they don't listen to us, which they aren't, and I don't think they ever have, they'll listen to people that they think will give their name a ride in history. They don't listen to history saying we need to keep something like this. They're not obeying any documentation that built this country, unless it's like degradation. But anyway, the only way we can change anything is petition. That's what's in the Constitution. That's the only thing they allow. You know, the protest, it gets the protest should be followed by petition. You know, if you're going to protest to get people's awareness, then it should be followed up by petition. But problem is, the protests are usually so stupid. They're the people that word them. People that get together to protest. Anyway, just rambling, but I'm just trying to say we ought to petition for the control of the military. And it's, they don't want violence, then they shouldn't be able to be in control of it. That's what I'm saying. And I don't think they need a quick reactionary force if the military is doing their job and protecting our country. That's all we need them. That's all we need them for. Basically, we don't need them going around, going to foreign countries and doing insurgencies for, this, that, or the other. I mean, sure, you got hostage rescue and stuff like that, but that's still, there's months behind that. And they think, well, it's all secret. Yet they advertise everything. They advertise everything, and the news basically pushes it forward. The enemy knows before the citizenry knows, of what the military is doing, even before the military does it. I mean, that was a big thing in Vietnam, is the military was kind of a forewarning. I don't know how they did that, why they did that, but anyway, I think the military should be in the hands of the citizenry to get rid of the power that government uses them for to control